Namaste, my beautiful queens, beautiful kings, especially kings. I hope lately, especially as the day after day passing by, and when you, I have to admit, my beautiful queens, when you live in a certain illusion or the lies which we were told for hundreds, sometimes thousands of years, it's somewhat easier. But one has to be courageous, one has to be brave to see how things are, because truth, of course, brings a certain amount of sadness, and seeing how things are, how fast usually it's happening. I see it every day, how amazingly fast the female power starts to open up, and how fast females more and more, it's not easy for females either, but how more and more the females start to embrace their changes, embrace the new truths, who they are, what they are, where they coming from, why they are here, are refusing from familiar and easier but old paradigm, familiar and easier lies, embracing the truth, embracing the changes, moving forward into unknown, spreading the wings. And unfortunately, what comes to our boys, like I like to call them, our boys are way behind. Or not all, of course, I cannot tell you all men are like this, but if I see, let's say, 100 females going forward, I see 2 males going forward. One of them goes forward 1 step and then goes 2 steps back. So I hope that some of you kings are listening, and usually it's not even the like a metaphorical word king. It's amazing that a man, doesn't matter if he's a king in a level of his village, or he's the king of a level of his subdivision, or he is the king in a level of this little city or big city, doesn't matter. He is the king of something, and this becomes the core, this becomes the most important thing in his physical life. The king wants to be the king. The king is scared of one thing, to lose his throne, or someone to threaten his throne. He wants more power. He wants his kingdom to increase in size, in influence, and they get so severely stuck in this paradigm. I'm a king, I am a double king, I'm a triple king, and I will die, lie, kill, do anything to not just keep it, but make this stronger, make it more powerful, make it more influential. I want more of what in it, from a village to a level of a city, from a level of a city to a level of a I don't know, a county or the state, I don't know. They never have enough. The king, if he had the world, then he would probably want the nearby galaxies or nearby planets until his physical life comes to its natural ending. And then from the level of his soul, he looks at the physical body and understands, wow, I screwed up the thing I actually went there to do. The thing is, what I wanted to explain to you, my beauties, my kings and my queens, that since my childhood, I've had very rare books in my house, and in esoteric and deep subjects I was into it for as long as I remember myself. I started to learn early, to read early, and my brother could pay for one book his monthly paycheck. I'm not even kidding. He would get his monthly paycheck and buy a book, because books, especially on deep and esoteric subjects, were rare and were very expensive. So I have been reading so excessively and so much, and when I got this book into my hands, I did show it to you so many times already, that imagine that everything I have read within last 40 years is excessive thousands of books. He managed, this man who is no longer in the level of the living, he managed to put into this book questions which you have been asking yourself, and even those questions you couldn't even imagine to be asking. And I have this weird dream, you know, if I was very rich, if I was a millionaire, I would buy this book for everyone. I would have it translated in all the languages, because this is the answer to every question. But today I want to share with you, I hope that I have enough time, because literally I need to read this book to you, all the things in here, but I will read just several. You can find it on Amazon. But why I started with our boys, talking about our boys and talking about girls, because the physical body, the life in physical body, and the physical body itself can suppress the very core of their soul. So the actions which the physical body does, it does only from the influence of the physical body, when the soul cannot get in touch with that physical body. That Michael Newton, he explains here how a pure, powerful, ancient soul of light chooses the body and then challenges itself. The soul always coming into physical challenges itself, and then unfortunately might think or might miscalculate in a physical body with its passion and greed to material things and power, money, kingdom, influence can completely take over the soul voice. And the only time when they hear the voice of the soul is in their dream, when they are sleeping. Unfortunately, boys are more challenged by the physical than the girls. We usually are connected most of the time, most of us. But here I will tell you, I will read a little part here, which is called the presence. And the presence is what people of religions or spiritual call God. And this I wanted to already tell you a long time ago. I kept telling myself that you must tell this to them. And part of me was saying they can get this book and they can read it, but I just kept on saying myself, you have to do it, you have to do it, you have to tell them. But there were many things happening, one or the other, and so please listen to what I am going to read you. And if you want to read all of it, it's going to be in this book, Michael Newton, Destiny of Soul. I worship a Journey of Soul book, but this is even more power. So what and who is their God? Their presence. When you take people into the spirit world, do they see God? This is a question I'm frequently asked about at lectures and there is no short answer. I can say my subject do feel the source of their origins, all about them in the spirit world. The more advanced souls explain that all souls will eventually coalesce back into conjunction with the source of pure light. However, is there some place in the spirit world where a being superior to the elders, I already explained in my other videos, the council of elders, who they are and what they do. However, is there some place in the spirit world where a being superior to the elders is evident to the still incarnating soul? The answer is yes, at council meetings. During the time we are meeting with the council of elders, there is the overwhelming feeling of an even higher force, which is simply called their presence. It is called the presence but by all their spiritual beings and the souls which come from the physical into the realm of spirits. They don't call it by a name, or by, it's not a single person. The biggest, strangest thing since I was a child to me was to imagine that this source of creation of everything, all the universes, multiverses, galaxies, stars, is a one person, because it's energy of creation, the source of creation. And of course, it's like, imagine electricity is also the energy. Imagine electricity to be a person. So it is called their presence. This is how they call it. During the time we are meeting with the council of elders, there is the overwhelming feeling of an even higher force, which is simply called their presence. Many subjects state, this is as close to God as we can get. My even more advanced soul's client, who are nearing to the end of their regular incarnations, indicate that they don't think the presence is God exactly. To them, it is a deified entity. It is a deified entity which with capabilities immensely superior to those on the council. Again, who the councils of elders is, I already explained. You can read it in this book. But this is so-called judgment, but it has nothing to do with judgment you can imagine here on earth. Those are advanced souls, and also together with your guides or guide and observers and keepers. To them, it is a deified entity or entities which with capabilities immensely superior to those on the council. Everyone agrees that the presence is there to assist the work of the council. Typically, people who come to me do not like to use the word God in describing a higher presence. This is the closest you can find the words to describe it, a higher presence. They feel more than see in the spirit world. It's more about feeling than seeing. They prefer to use such words as source or over soul, because the word God has been too personalized, especially on our planet Earth. As many souls approach the more advanced stages of development, their presence may become pluralized in their minds as a part of the many divine forces in the spirit world with infinite knowledge. They feel this higher force does influence council meetings, but might not be the ultimate creator. My subjects see the greatest evidence of the presence at council meetings, even though the presence is equated with a larger, omnipotent, and omnipresent energy force in the spirit world. After receiving hundreds of case notes describing the presence, I decided to offer a few of them in a series of quotes. In their sessions, each of my subjects speaks of the presence in just a few sentences. I hope the list of quotes I have selected will capture the flavor of what the average soul feels about this aspect of their council meetings. There goes the quotes. I do not actually see the presence, but feel it as the ultimate energy. It is there for the council, but mostly for me. The elders don't serve as intermediaries between myself and this source of power. I feel a direct connection with the divine purple light. When I am in the council chamber, the presence oversees the elders with its pulsating violet light. Sometimes it turns to a bright silver to calm and purify my mind. The presence is above and in back of the council. Only with difficulty can I look up at this power. I feel its sanctity so strongly that I don't think I should try to look at it directly during the council meetings. If I did, I could not stay focused on the elders. The council seems to acknowledge the presence without being too differential to it in such a way as to slow down the proceedings. I think it intended that my council and I pay attention to each other. Still, I have the impression that the magnitude of all the combined intelligent energy is designed just for me at this moment. My guide, the elders, and the presence are keepers of the wisdom behind my experience. The presence represents a purity of energy which assists the council on my behalf. I believe that the council needs the help of the presence because it has been so long since they themselves incarnated in biological form. The pure wisdom of this energy allows both the council and myself to see more clearly where we all should be going. The brilliance and the drawing power of the presence is a calling, an eagerness directed at everyone in the chamber for all of us to join it someday. It is like a parent waiting for us to grow up and unite with it in adult understanding. When you stand in the council chamber and feel the presence, it is like a penetrating resonance in your mind. Even my master guide encounters the sense of bliss that I do. I know this is why she really enjoys coming to council meetings with me. It is a fountainhead of love and understanding. When my time with the council is over and I leave the presence, there is such a yearning to go back and be close to it once more. People have asked me if I have ever had anyone who could shed some light on what it is like to be a council member and be closer to their presence. I have had very few subjects with such experience who are in transition from level 5. There are spirits, the souls which have 5 levels. Anyone who is above 5 levels, level 6 and higher, those do not incarnate in physical anymore. If they do choose to incarnate in physical, they have very serious goals in helping others to move forward in their development. But usually level 5 and above don't incarnate anymore. However, one individual stands out in my mind. Chinera was one of the most advanced clients I have ever had, most advanced souls. No one has taken me closer to the presence than this soul. Chinera trained in another dimension before coming to Earth several thousand years ago. Today, the soul is an acupuncturist who practices a variety of healing arts. The medallion worn by Chinera's council chairman is shown in figure 9G. It's a picture here. Further details about the interdimensional travel capabilities of souls will be examined with the Explorer Soul Specialist in Chapter 8. He also describes different types of souls which he encountered in 40 years of his research. Honestly, I probably will read... I would read this book several times until I can memorize it or really get everything, but it's not possible because you have to understand that the information in this book is the same if we would take a couple thousand books and put it all together. He put it all together here. I will start reading you this case, and you can read the rest of it in find this book yourself. There is a digital form. I even saw it free online when you could read it without paying a penny, but I don't like doing this because I respect too much of this author. So a lot of things I wanted as well to share with you from this book, how the body can take over the soul and how the soul gets into such situation when it can't reach out to that physical. So a man or a woman associates her goals, her life, her everything, or he is only with the physical body and what the physical body has. I wanted to explain you that. I wanted to explain you many other things, but you are big girls and big boys. You can find this book and you can find it yourself. So here the presence, I already told you, the Council of Elders. The Council of Elders is when the soul already arrived in their spiritual world, already saw everyone he or she wanted to see, then he or she, the soul, goes with the guide or guides to the Council of Elders. It's imagined like the King Arthur round table, advanced souls, and the presence which I have just described you is gonna be there, and you're gonna be like in the middle. What you have to understand, there is nothing like the courtroom on earth. You feel love and understanding. The toughest is for the soul, when the soul sees the life it just had lived. Usually who is the toughest on the soul is the soul itself. And elders and council and the presence, they help the soul understand what good still can be taken, even if the soul considers this was not right thing, this was not right choice. They help the soul to accept itself with everything in it, and to learn from this experience and to move forward, of course, in their development. I quickly want to answer you one question. This I already explained in my other video, but it is on Patreon. Many of you somehow think, well, for example, you have a child, or you have a father or grandfather, or somebody you really love in your physical life. And I heard it before many times, and I used to say it also. I am gonna leave the physical first. I'm gonna leave this life first, and I'm gonna be waiting for you out there. And people say, I'm gonna be so sad if I'm gonna leave earlier than my husband or someone you love. I'm gonna be so sad there in the realm of spirit because my husband or my kid or somebody you love still gonna be here on earth. No, this is not how things are. He explains this in the chapter Soul Division. And he explains the more advanced the soul, the less of their soul actual capacity it's taken into physical. So part of your very essence incarnates in the physical body, and part of your very essence always stays in the realm of spirits. So, for example, if you had a grandmother or a father or a grandfather who left this planet and went out there, and you know that reincarnation is one of the fundamental laws of existence. I heard this, but what if when by the time I get there, my grandfather or grandmother already is going to be incarnated in a different physical body? I'm not gonna see him there. Yes, you will see him there, because part of his very essence stays in the realm of spirit. This is the same for absolutely everyone. When you incarnate in physical, this planet or the others, this dimension or the other, the part of your very essence, of your soul, if you want to call it spirit, excuse me, stays in the realm of spirits. So, you're gonna always meet those which are coming out there after you, even if you already living in the physical body again. So no need to wait for somebody, no need to be sad because you are there earlier than your husband, or your husband is there and you're still here and you need to wait until you go there. No, If your husband left or your father left to the world of spirits, and you are here still on earth, it's part of your very essence on earth. He, your husband, your grandfather, your father, met with you who left there, with you, the part of you which is there. You have already that meeting out there. He doesn't have to wait until you get there to meet you, or you don't have to wait until you meet there. The part of your very essence, of your very spirit, is always in the realm of spirits. What percentage you take into physical depends on soul development. The more advanced the soul, the less part you take into physical, because you come into physical to challenge yourself. To challenge and learn and grow. This is main reasons why we are here. And other reasons, of course, we all have our goals and missions and goals and learnings and things we must do. So this is all, my beautiful queens and kings and queens. The rest of it and much, much more you can read in this book, Destiny of Souls, and his first book, Journey of Souls. I hope someone heard me and someone now got the answers. Up to you if you embrace the truth or you deny it. All is your choice. You make choices every moment. You make choices every day. You can choose love or you can choose money. You can choose money or you can choose compassion. You can choose compassion or you can choose empathy. You make your own choices, and each of your choice influences your life in physical, but most of all, please remember, this is influencing your eternal and immortal, powerful self, being of light as you are. Namaste.